I am Shobna Garg, Assistant Professor in IT Department. Today I am going to start a new lesson from a subject Manager, IT for Manager. Today I am going to start a subject that is IT for Manager. Now the first chapter of this subject is memory. This is a very important topic. First I will tell you what is memory. A memory is an important part of a computer that will store data either in a temporary basis or a permanent basis. It can be a device or a software, it can be a hardware or any software, but today I am going to discuss upon it as a hardware because it is a device that connect to a computer. But if we talk about any software, then it will purely based upon internet. So a memory is a hardware device that is used to store data temporary or a permanent basis anywhere in a computer. We divide memory in this hierarchical format. It is divided into two parts. First is primary memory and second is secondary memory. Now what is the difference between primary memory and secondary memory? Generally we execute programs and we used to store instructions running time of a program, and sometime we need to store any data. Now if we running a program, then the instruction that are currently executing will be stored in a main memory, that is in a primary memory, and if we want to store data in a permanent basis, then it will be stored in a secondary memory. Now primary memory is again divided into four parts, that is RAM, ROM, cache memory and registers. Now we heard many times about RAM, ROM, cache and registers. First we will talk about ROM. Full form of ROM is read only memory. As the name suggests, it is read only memory, that it will give only those instructions that only readable. We cannot update, we cannot delete, we cannot modify any instruction that is stored in a ROM. Now what will a ROM do? ROM will store those data that by default is stored in a computer, or only those data that program used to run its processing, program used to do its processing, then it will be stored in a ROM. For example, if we install any window, Window XP, Window 7, 8, 10, that is the version of Windows. If we store them in a computer, we install them, then the default programs are Notepad and any browser, that is Internet Explorer. These all programs are necessary and sufficient to run a computer by default. So these are installed in a ROM. And other example, if we are running a computer, we are starting a computer, then the booting program, the initialization program that runs, that we see in starting of a computer startup, these are stored in a ROM. This is a volatile memory because it is deleted after computer is shutting down. So this will be stored in a ROM. Now we talk about RAM. Now we talk about RAM. RAM, the full form is random access memory. As the name suggests, it is random access memory. Those instructions and those programs that are stored in computer can be randomly accessed from anywhere and can be stored anywhere in a computer. That's why it is called random access memory. For example, if we are working on a document, if we are working on a presentation or anything that has software in a computer, then we save it in any memory, in any location of main memory. Then it is random access memory because we can store it anywhere and we can retrieve it from anywhere. So it will be stored in random access memory. For example, if we want to install any new software or any movie or a video, then we will store it in any drive in a computer main memory, because drives are divided parts of a main memory. The whole main memory will be divided into parts that are drives. So we will store it anywhere in main memory. So that is random access memory. Programs, the running program are not initialized in this memory, so it is non-volatile memory, because after computer is shut down, it will be erased, it will be deleted permanently. So ROM and RAM has basic major difference, that ROM will store data permanently and RAM will store data on a temporary basis. Now ROM is divided into again two parts, that is PROM and EPROM. The PROM has name, that is programmable read only memory. Now ROM is again divided into two parts, that is PROM and EPROM. PROM stands for programmable read only memory. As the memory ROM has a drawback that when a data inserted into ROM it cannot be deleted. Now what to do if any software programmer has any program, has any operating system, has any new software to install on it, though it cannot be done by using only the term ROM. So the manufacturer designed a new ROM, that is PROM, programmable read only memory. It is manufactured as blank. If we purchase them, then it will be given as a blank. So a software programmer will install its own software, its own operating system on it, and can be used permanently. The characteristic of ROM will be same, that the data once inserted cannot be deleted, cannot be updated. It will be remain same. Now the other term is EPROM. It is erasable programmable read only memory. Erasable because PROM has another drawback, that it is manufactured as blank, but the program once inserted cannot be deleted, so it will be used by same it is as it is. So erasable programmable read only memory provide a new feature, that once inserted a program can again be deleted, can again be erased by using ultraviolet lights, and after deleted it again be replaced by another new program, another new software, and it will be used as same as ROM, that it is only readable, cannot be deleted, cannot be updated, same. Again if we want to erase, if we want to install a new software, it will be again erased by ultraviolet lights. So this is the functions of whole ROM. Now we talk about cache memory. Cache memory is heard many times in mobile phones, in a smartphone, Android phone. Now this is used in computer also. Sometimes we see that there is a huge difference between main memory. This is your main memory, and this is your main memory, and this is CPU. The difference between main memory and CPU is very large, because CPU is very fast and main memory has a large space to run programs on it. So to recover difference between these two, because accessibility, we need accessibility very fast, so we provide a chip between these two terms, that is cache. What this chip will do? This will save only those programs that we use frequently, the most recent programs or those programs that are currently used. So this chip will store frequently used program. So if CPU need any program to run that many times can be run, so it will provided by this chip. It will minimize the difference, the time difference between these accessibility between these main memory and CPU. So this is cache memory. Now we talk about registers. Registers are not the part of main memory, but it is also make accessibility faster by providing different categories of main memory. For example, if we are accessing address, then it is categorized by address register. If we are accessing index, then it is provided by index register. And if we are accessing general data, then it is provided by data register. So it is only categorize the main memory into different sections. It will again faster the speed of CPU. The whole purpose of cache memory and register is to access faster by CPU, by user. If user will give any input, then they will make it faster. They will provide output faster. So this is whole sole primary memory. Now we talk about secondary memory. Secondary memory will store data that are not currently used by any program. It will only save data in a permanent storage that we can use externally. We can move them externally, or we can delete them, we can update them, or we can do anything on this data. It is again divided by these category: magnetic tape, magnetic disk, and other storage devices. Now if we want to store data in a large amount, then it will be stored in magnetic tape or magnetic disk. Now what is magnetic tape? A magnetic tape is a tape like device that will store data in a flip, in a reel. For example, it is same like cassettes that we use sometime before in to store our songs or other data. It is a large part, it is a huge part of these cassettes. The data is stored in a film, in a reel, and it is rectangular shaped disk device. Now what is magnetic disk? Magnetic disk is a disk type device. It will again store large amount of data. It is a huge device to store data on it. But it is circular disk in which data is stored in a circular manner. For example, एक second. Okay, in a magnetic disk, data is stored in a circular manner. For example, this is a disk, this is the upper body, upper part of disk, and below this the lower part of this. Data will be inserted in both sides but in a circular manner. This circular part of disk is called tracks, and if we again subdivide this tracks, then it will be called sector. So data inserted in a tracks or sector manners in magnetic disk. If we want to delete data and again want to reinsert data, then it is also possible in magnetic disk. By using ultraviolet lights we can erase them. The magnetic material will be remain same in both magnetic tape and magnetic disk. Data inserted in a magnetic type material and it is saved permanently and can be erased by using ultraviolet lights. Now the other storage devices are pen drive, CD and DVD. We can store data on it but in a small amount, in a short amount. So if we want to store large amount of data, then we use these two terms, and we want to if we want to store a small amount of data, then we can use other devices. So that's all about memory. That's all about memory. To get more information, log on to www.gurukpo.com. Thank you.